All day out at the Pilk, I'm Justin Cowart, welcoming you into the broadcast booth and into the Bankwest pregame show as we are getting set for not one but two Pierre Governor soccer games on this gorgeous Thursday afternoon, as it will be the game of the girls' game first, followed by the boys' game. And boy, are we in for a treat in game number one. It is the battle of the unbeatens, 1 versus 2, and I think all of the eyes in the world of soccer will be on today's matchup between the Pierre Governors and the Harrisburg Tigers. Well, folks, if you're listening today on River 92.7, reminder you can watch today's game live on drgnews.com by going to the River 92.7 station page. You can also download the DRG News app to make your listening experience much more streamlined and much more enjoyable. Got a couple broadcasts going on here this evening, and of course tomorrow with our Friday night football action. Tonight we've got some Pierre Governor soccer, as we mentioned, not one but two games for you on River 92.7 on KGFX. We've got Stanley County Volleyball taking on Phillip later this afternoon. Brian Oakland will be on the call there. His coverage will begin in about an hour's time. And a little bit later, in about 2 hours' time, coverage for Miller at Burke Volleyball on KPLO with Darren Boyle will get underway. And if you download the DRG News app, you can bounce around from game to game, making your listening experience much more streamlined and much more enjoyable. Before we get into these two games at hand, I want to give you a look ahead at what we've got on our broadcast schedule for tomorrow night. Pierre Governor football will hit the road and head to Watertown as they look to pick up their second win on the season and advance above an even 500 after their 13-7 loss to Huron last Friday night. They take on Watertown tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Brian Oakland's coverage will begin at 6:30. Chamberlain at Miller Highmore Herald football tomorrow night on KPLO with Darren Boyle. His coverage will get underway at 6:30, kickoff at 7. It's homecoming week for Stanley County. So they welcome in Redfield for a 7 o'clock kick. I'll have the coverage on KGFX beginning just after 6:30, live from Ole Williamson Field. Matthew Giavone, our newest play-by-play broadcaster, will have the Mobridge Pollock versus Aberdeen Roncalli homecoming football game on Star 99. His coverage will begin just after 5:30 kickoff at 6 o'clock. Spencer Gosh will be in Harrod Selby area as they take on Lemon on KMLO. Coverage beginning just after 5:30, kickoff at 6. Back to the two games we have at hand. I'll set the scene for you as it is a cloudy, breezy, and hot day out at the Pilk. It's going to be requiring a lot out of these girls and guys this afternoon. Going to have to make sure the conditioning is in check. But these two teams seemingly on a collision course in the postseason. Well, we get a regular season taste here this afternoon. Been an outstanding start for both. As I mentioned, these two teams sit atop of the standings as they have both played some outstanding soccer to this point. As we take a quick look at those 11AA girls soccer standings, the Pierre Governors sitting at 6-0-1 with their one tie coming earlier on in the season against Sioux Falls Roosevelt. That was a 1-1 tie. And we've also got the Harrisburg Tigers sitting at 6-0-0 on the season, but they just sit underneath of Pierre with the seeding points because of their one less game. Rapid City Stevens sitting in third at 7-0-1 on the year. Sioux Falls Roosevelt at 4-0-2. O'Gorman at 4-1-2 in fifth. Yankton in sixth at 5-1-3. Aberdeen Central in seventh at 4-3-1, and Sioux Falls Lincoln at 4-2-1. I say all of that from 1 through 8 just to kind of give you an idea about the talent towards the top of these standings. These are two very good teams, but they've got some equally as talented teams hovering right underneath them. So it is incredibly important to get these wins against teams that you feel like you should beat, you should handle, and it's even more important to get these big wins against top opponents for the Pierre Governors today, like it is with the Harrisburg Tigers. So as we take a look at what we've got here this afternoon, let's look ahead real quick. The next game for the Pierre Governor girls after today's matchup will come on the 13th. That'll be on Saturday afternoon when they hit the road and head to Brandon Valley. Brandon Valley sits at 2-5-1 on the season. That will be a 2 o'clock kick. And they would love to head out there still unbeaten at 7-0-1. As we mentioned, it's hot, it's breezy, and we want to make sure that the folks, you don't have any weather to deal with getting out here today, but it's always a good time to remind you. And the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety wants you to remember to drive slow, slow the drive, arrive alive. You've got some place to be. We're going to step away here for a 3-minute break. When we come back, I'll welcome on Chris Derry. We'll talk a little keys to success. We'll talk to head coach Kira Swenson and so much more from our Bank West pregame show. You're listening live on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
There when you need them the most. Bank West insurance agents Sam Kenneke and Angie Taylor are here to make your life easier.
As an independent agency, we're able to customize an insurance plan to fit your individual needs.
We work with dozens of companies to find you the best possible coverage and the best price.
For your insurance needs, contact Sam or Angie at Bank West Insurance in Pierre. Bank West, convenient, connected, committed. Insurance products are not deposits, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal agency, not guaranteed by any bank, and may go down in value.
At American Family Insurance, we help protect what you've achieved so you can fearlessly go after your dreams. For auto, home, business, and life, contact us today. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance, Life Mutual, Standard of Ohio, Wisconsin Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin, 53783.
Call the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, with offices in Pierre, Oneida, and Gettysburg.
Fall sports are here, and Beck Motor Company is proud to cheer on our local athletes. Just like teamwork on the field or court, you can count on teamwork at our dealership. Whether you're driving a new Chevy Equinox, a tough Chevy Silverado, or keeping your current ride in top shape with our service department, Beck Motor Company is here for all your automotive needs. Good luck to all our hometown teams this season. From your friends at Beck Motor Company, we're making a great deal better. www.beckmotors.com, 605-224-5912.
Century Business Products is a proud provider of the most reliable Kyocera copiers and printers to the Pierre School District. Backed by 5-time nationally awarded Kyocera servicing team. Are you looking to control color cost? Looking to reduce printers? Are you looking for more efficient ways to scan documents? Or maybe you'd like to become more paperless? Look no further than your local Century Business Products. Call 800-529-1950 and see how they're powering business technology.
Dakota Storm Roofing is a locally owned roofing company in Pierre, specializing in both residential and commercial roofing services. They can handle your asphalt shingle, metal roofing, and flat roof needs. New construction, plus all types of roof repairs. They can handle the finishing touches, adding fascia, soffit, and gutters too. No job is too big or too small. For a free estimate, call Dakota Storm Roofing at 280-9794. Go to dakotastormroofing.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram. From the stations of DRG Media Group. Download the DRG News app from the App Store or Google Play. It takes only a moment, so you'll have it in time for this game. See live and archive video of all games. And when you select your favorite station during the live stream, the video will immediately pop up. See Central South Dakota High School Sports on your phone or mobile device with the DRG News app. Download it now from the App Store or Google Play.
Welcome back into the Bank West pregame show. I'm Justin Cowart coming to you live from the Pilk here in the state capitol as the Pierre Governors and the Harrisburg Tigers are getting set for game number 1 of this doubleheader coverage. I welcome in my partner in crime, Chris Derry. And Chris, we got some good afternoon weather here for some soccer, and boy, is this a big game. A lot of folks will be tuning in to watch 1 versus 2 face off here this afternoon.
Yeah, they will. This game's going to be a good, what do I want to say, heat check.
Measuring stick of sorts.
Yeah, for both teams. Harrisburg, their schedule so far has been a little bit light to start with. They've had a pretty good run of it so far, especially with their home games. Pierre has had a good test of some games as well. I think for both teams, this is the biggest matchup that both teams have had, regardless of records. It's just the biggest matchup for both teams, and I think for Harrisburg, it's a chance to say, hey, our record is who we are, and I think in Pierre's terms, it's the same thing. Our record is who we are. I think this is going to be a real it's going to be one of those things at the end of the season. We'll probably still be talking about the matchup from this game. Well,
let's take a look at that Harrisburg schedule throughout the first couple of weeks of the season. And we take a look. They actually have not allowed a single goal throughout this entire season thus far. But keep in mind, as Chris Derry said, they haven't played a team the caliber of the Pierre Governors yet this season. They started off the season with a 5-0 win over Mitchell. Mitchell sits at 4-5 on the year. They followed that up with a road win against Brandon Valley, 3-0. Brandon Valley at 2-5-1. Aberdeen Central, another 5-0 blanking. Aberdeen sits at 4-3-1 on the season. T-Area currently sitting at 2-5-0. They beat them 4-0. Sioux Falls, Washington, they beat them 4-0 as well, who sits at 3-4-1. Watertown, that was a 4-0 victory for the Harrisburg Tigers, and they sit at 4-4 on the season. And I say all that to just kind of highlight your point. Only one team in that list is above 500. Everybody else either at 500 or sitting below. But you've got to feel like with the record that they have, the fact that they have not yet to allow a goal, doesn't really matter who those opponents have been. This defense has been great, and this offense for Harrisburg has to have been clicking.
Yeah, I mean, if you're keeping clean sheets, you're doing good things. I mean, I don't want to take anything away from who they've played or their schedule or anything like that. It has been a lighter schedule, but keeping clean sheets, that's tough to do. 6 games of clean sheets, that's impressive in anyone's standards. So I think it's going to be interesting. I don't think they've faced an attack that's as diverse as the Governor's attack is. I don't think they've faced the players that they're going to face today. I don't think they've faced a player like Lexi Hilmer. I don't think they faced the speed on defense like Jasmine and Joe's and Caitlin and the girls are going to give them. I think there's going to be a lot of questions for them that they're going to be able to answer and say, hey, we are where we want to be, or hey, we got work to do. And then on the Governor's side, flip it. This is a quality team. This is a team that's been in the state championship match a couple times in the last couple years. This is, hey, we want to win this game to show we're a state championship contender. And Aberdeen was a good, solid win. Unfortunately, we couldn't play Rapid City Stevens, who's been there a couple times, but now we got this team, and this could be a signature win on the season for the girls.
It's a Harrisburg Tigers team that plays with a lot of energy, a lot of spunk, and when you meet their head coach, Cameron Miller, you know exactly where that comes from. Now flipping over to the side for the Pierre Governors, they've had a lot of really important pieces in this season thus far to get them to the point that they're at, but none more important than Lexi Hilmer. Now, when you talk to some of the team and some of the players, including some of the coaches, they will tell you it's a full-on team effort, but you can't look at the stat sheet without looking at what Lexi Hilmer has done and have to have a feeling like there is a huge part of Lexi Hilmer as to why the reason that the Governors sit at 6-0-1.
Yeah, I mean, she's showing up on the stat sheet with her assists and her goals. Everyone sees that. But there's the little things that she's doing away from the ball that don't show up on the stat sheet that is going to impress anyone that she plays, because unless you're watching the film and specifically watching her for the 80 minutes that she plays, you're not going to notice the fact that she comes back into the defensive center mid and wins the ball. She gets a ball in the midfield and transitions it outside and then runs to the backside for a goal. You're not going to notice all the little things that she does that, don't show up on the stat sheet other than goal and assist. So playing against a player like that, is tough for any team. Hey, we just got to shut her down from taking shots. Okay, well, she just moves back in the midfield and she'll create her own, and she's already shown several times in her hat trick game where she had 3 goals from 25 yards or further. So go ahead and shut her down up front. She'll just step back a little bit further and pop them from there.
Great X's and O's from Chris Derry. Now it's time to talk to head coach Pierre Swenson with our keys to success. Before we do that, it's your word from our friends who sponsor our keys to success at Central Dakota Eye Care.
Did you know million Americans suffer from dry eye? Hi, this is Dr. Nick Marso of Central Dakota Eye Care. Along with providing comprehensive eye exams evaluating vision and health of your eyes, we now offer IPL dry eye treatments. OptiLight IPL is a new innovative light therapy treatment for dry eye and is FDA approved. Also available at our clinic are dry eye products and supplements. Call us today, 224-6128 for more information and to schedule an appointment. Central Dakota Eye Care, 640 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Better vision for a great life.
Here with head coach Pierre Swenson, outside of the hype circle, as things are seeming pretty loose for your team ahead of this 1 versus 2 matchup. Has that just been the message all week? Let's go have fun. Let's play our game.
We really don't focus on the rankings. It's just another game, on the journey for us, and just do what we do best, and we'll take care of business.
We're handing out some player of the game shirts before today's match. Lexi Hilmer's got a couple. She's been incredible these past couple weeks. How important has she been to your team?
Oh, she's been a pivotal role for us, but, I think every girl is playing their role, and that's contributing to our huge success this year.
And I think kind of preaching to that playing your role, Sophia Bruggeman's up there a little bit over 500 minutes of time played. She's only got one shot on goal. It's that type of player that's playing the role that I think is contributing to your success. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm. We threw her in there, a trial by fire kind of thing, and she's really stepped up big for us.
You talk about playing their game, and, I think one of those big moments of the season, a turning point, was that comeback win when you're trailing 2-0 with just about 5 minutes to go. Have you guys used that as kind of a launching point?
We just continue to talk about how you play those full 80 and you don't give up, and that's exactly what the girls do, and they do it every game. So it's cool to see, in that one it was a bigger game for us, but since then it's just the same thing, play the full 80.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Kira Swenson for spending some time with us down on the pitch before the game, and, talking with her. You could probably hear it in the background. The girls were getting loose. They were singing. They were dancing. It's got to be important to stay loose ahead of a big match like this one here today, Chris.
Yeah, keeping the girls focused on, hey, it's just another game in the trail to where we want to go, and the end of the trail is the championship match. So this is just one more little turn, and just play it like you would any other game. Yes, the records are what they are. Yes, the standings are what they are. All that stuff, good. But this is middle part of the season now. This is our chance to see what else do we need to work on, so by the end of the season we're ready to play these girls for a championship if we need to.
Very good opportunity and a very good possibility that these two teams will see each other again in the postseason. Who knows? It might be at the biggest stage in the state championship. All right, let's meet our starting lineups here today. Before we do that, let's hear a word from our friends who sponsor our starting lineups, our friends at Envirotech.
Envirotech makes life a little bit simpler. No matter what the circumstances, no matter what is handed to you, Envirotech has you covered. One call is all it takes to have easy setup, easy pickup, and easy payment. Call Envirotech at 224-4804 or use their website to pay your bill online at envirotechwaste.com. Use the mobile app Waste Connect. Check their website or receive a robocall for collection schedule due to weather or holidays. Envirotech has you covered.
And our starting lineups today, sponsored by Envirotech. As always, we'll start with the visiting squad today. That is the Harrisburg Tigers. And they will have Haley Kaufman between the pipes, their starting goalkeeper. Now, before we go further, we do want to let you know there will be a change of goalkeeper from the first to the second half. It'll be Reagan Shelsky who will be stepping in, and I asked Coach Miller about that. I said, are you just trying to feel out, is there a specific strategy behind having the two goalkeepers platooning like that? She said they're both just awesome. They both rock, and when you look at the score sheet and look at their schedule and see 0 goals from opponents, well, that explains it for you. Bria Miller will also be starting today, a junior defensewoman, and Auburn Barrett will be starting a senior. Naya Aware, Izzy Smith-Back, one of the team's captains. Bryn Scogan, another captain, as well as Claire Backstrom, the third captain of this team, will be getting the start. Taylor Severson, Aubrey Zink, Reagan Pesca, and Saren Nasser will all be starting. We'll also see a couple players coming off the bench. Lily Kunzelman, Haley Rutten, Lily Churchill, Kennedy Tejan, and Delaney Rockvam, along with Adeline DeGraff, will be seeing some playing time, and I'm sure we might see some other Tigers as well. For the home team, Pierre Governor girls, we'll see Emlyn Swanson between the pipes. She's made 48 saves on the season, just 9 goals allowed. I'm sure you'll hear me say that again today. Zoe Bauer, one of the freshmen, getting the start here this afternoon. Jasmine Yost, one of the minutes leaders of this team, will be starting at mid and forward. Josephine Wirtz, Natalie Flotmeyer, Caitlin Taylor, Maya Fravel, Lexi Hilmer, Devin Van Rokel, Allison Demers, and Sophia Bruggeman will complete the starting lineup for the Governors. We'll also see Katie Hostler, Kinsley Pfeffer, Micah Klinger, Cameron Larson, Addison Bass, Audrey Norton, Aubrey Fisher, and Alex Ludeman get some time out on the pitch today as well. That completes our starting lineups, and now it's time to introduce you to our game officials. Before we do that, here's a word from our friends who sponsor our introduction of game officials at the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection.
Inheritance, romance, and investment scams continue to plague South Dakotans with high dollar amount losses. They prey on vulnerable adults and swindle consumers out of their funds. Scammers befriend the victim, making it difficult for them to see the reality of what's happening. If you have a loved one susceptible to this type of scam, sit down and talk with them about these issues before it happens to them. If you or a loved one have been scammed in this manner, please reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Don't get scammed, and big thanks to South Dakota Attorney General's Office of Division of Consumer Protection reminding you to not do so. And our officials today, Braden Malum, Nicole Hovdestead, and Megan Glenn will be out there keeping things between the lines. I'm sure we'll see some physicality here this afternoon. Can't wait for it to get underway. We're moments away from our ComTech tip-off, or kickoff as you could also call it. So we'll step away for our national anthem. You'll hear a word from ComTech in this break, and then we'll get this thing underway between number 1 and number 2 at the top of the standings. The Pierre Governor girls soccer squad welcoming in Harrisburg for what should be a thrilling match. We'll be right back after this short break. You're listening to the Bank West pregame show live on River 92.7 and streaming on drgnews.com.
From the early days of South Dakota statehood through today's digital revolution, Bank West has remained committed to helping customers and communities succeed. Bank West Associates uphold this commitment by developing innovative products, tailoring financial solutions to customer needs, and actively supporting community causes. For a bank committed to helping you and your community prosper, choose Bank West. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Do you dream of a custom home built within your budget and done on time? Kruger Contracting can make that dream a reality. They're a trusted home builder since 2003, and they're going to be upfront and open about cost and transparent about where your money is going when it comes to your new home. Their skilled crew will manage construction of your new home from start to finish. They're located in Pierre and can build your home in Pierre, Fort Pierre, or the surrounding area. Call 605-222-2523. Visit KrugerContracting.com or find Kruger Contracting on Facebook.
Superior Concrete is proud to sponsor the Governors this season and just as proud to offer the finest concrete solutions available for commercial and residential applications as well as foundation and flat work. The bottom line, if you need anything done with concrete, we can do it. Superior Concrete. Give us a call today for an estimate or more information. That's Superior Concrete. Find us on Facebook or call the office at 605-494-0102. That's 494-0102. Call today.
Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre is here for you. They make it easy when looking for a new vehicle, getting all available vehicle information so you can spend less time researching and more time enjoying your purchase. Shop their extensive inventory from home at CapitalCityFordToyota.com or stop into Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota, 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Count on them for all your service needs with convenient scheduling and in-stock parts. Capital City Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre, 605-224-7378.
Do you love watching high school sports but find yourself wanting to be more involved? LiveTicket.tv has the solution for you. They're looking for production managers to assist for this school year. Duties include the management of equipment as well as basic technological understanding. But don't stress, paid training will be provided. Part-time wages starting at $20 per hour. Call 833-605-LIVE, extension 2. That's 833-605-5483, extension 2. And punch your ticket to joining one of the fastest growing companies in South Dakota.
At Avera Orthopedics, we're transforming pain into possibility every day. Whether you're chasing a personal best or simply want to enjoy life to the fullest, our specialized care is designed to help you feel better and stronger. We're here for you. No referral needed. Trust Avera Orthopedics to unlock a world of endless possibilities. Visit avera.org/orthopedics and start your journey from pain to possibility today.
Chances are you're overlooking a big energy thief in your home or commercial building, the garage doors. But Overhead Door Company of Pierre can help stop that energy waste with a full range of insulated, weather-tight garage doors. Their residential garage doors give you insulated performance at an uninsulated price. And their Thermocore insulated steel doors give commercial buildings the energy efficiency they demand today. Find out more. Call Overhead Door Company of Pierre at 1-800-649-9905 and put a stop to the garage door energy thief.
I'm Scott Nye. As a coach for the Pierre Governors, I know a winning game plan is crucial. When it comes to your finances, you deserve one too. At New Edge Advisors, our name is new, but our commitment to you isn't. We're the same trusted team you've known, and we've expanded our playbook of resources to help you plan for retirement, manage investments, and protect your future. Let's build the strategy that gets your financial future into the end zone.
Securities offered through LPL Financial. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC is a separate entity from LPL Financial.
Well, we just heard our national anthem, which means we are set for our Comtech kickoff. Before we step into this match, let's hear a word from Comtech.
Comtech has your technology solutions. Check out their showroom located right off the truck route on Irwin Street. Come in and see what you've been missing. A large selection of TVs, sound systems, and smart speakers, PCs, desktops, and tablets, home and business security and telecommunication systems. Comtech is your all-in-one solution for any technology needs. Wishing all athletes the best of luck in today's competition. Comtech. Come see what you've been missing.
We're set for our Comtech kickoff. And you know the rule, Chris. You look good, you play good, and the Governors breaking out the new kits for their game against number 2 ranked Harrisburg. They're wearing their home greens with a little bit of gray sachet down the side, numerals in white, Governors across the bottom of those numerals on the back in that gray as well. That's outlined in white-green shorts on the bottom. To complete the kit, the Harrisburg Tigers in their road whites with maroon numerals and maroon Harrisburg arched across the chest with the numerals underneath. We're set at midfield here. Highly anticipated matchup between number 1, the Pierre Governors, and number 2, Harrisburg is just about to get underway. It is a nice and breezy with a partly cloudy sky hanging over top. Perfect setting for some soccer as our official, Miss Hovdestead, is waiting. She blows the whistle, and we're underway here on River 92.7 with a 1 versus 2 matchup. And I think everybody in 11AA will have their eye on it here this afternoon. Governors with a quick steal at midfield, going back and forth. And Chris, been dying to ask, the Pierre Governors, they're looking to do something no team has done all season long against this Harrisburg squad, and that's find the back of the net. How important will it be for the Govs here today if they want to get the win to score first?
Scoring first is always huge in a game. Keeping your composure is the biggest thing, though, and getting a goal against a team that hasn't been scored on, that's always a huge psyche booster for the team that's scoring. And it'll be interesting to see how the Harrisburg girls react by getting scored on, because they haven't felt that. And furthermore, if the Governors score first, how does Harrisburg handle playing from behind? Because they haven't had to do that for a while either.
Well, we talk about all of that, but it is the big case. The Governors actually have to do just that. They have to score, and Harrisburg defense has been staunch all season long. And a nice steal here by the only one of 2 8th graders out on the pitch here in the starting lineup for the Pierre Governors, Maya Fravel. Governors on your radio dial will be attacking from right to left. Harrisburg going left to right, back the opposite direction, as a throw-in coming right in front of our press box here. And it will be interesting to see how these 2 teams just kind of feel each other out, as one of those things that the Governors, especially here at home, haven't really done much of in our last couple broadcasts has been get out in front early. They've played from behind a little bit, something that they've shown no matter how much time is left on the clock, they can do well with. We've got a whistle over at midfield as Jasmine Yost goes down onto the turf. That foul will go against the Tigers. Jasmine Yost, one of the minutes leaders here for the Pierre Governors, out on the pitch. 532 minutes played. That's second to only Josephine Wirtz, who's played 548 minutes. As Yost sends this free kick in from just inside midfield, out in front for Hilmer. Hilmer working on the defender, has it stolen away, but a good early opportunity as Caitlin Taylor will try to push it back in out in front of the Harrisburg net, but it's taken away by Naya Aware and now pushed forward. Taylor Severson with some speed, running inside the box. Right-footed shot right into the waiting hands of Emlyn Swanson. She gets her first save of the day. 48 saves on the season for Swanson. Only 9 goals allowed. And, well, I think a lot of these Pierre Governor players would tell you that maybe half of those goals were not on Emlyn Swanson's shoulders, just kind of one of those things you really can't do anything about as the Tigers press here. Far side of the box, they'll feed it into Naya Aware. Aware turns around. That one rolls past the end line and out of play. But Emlyn Swanson's been good here for the Governors in just her sophomore season, building off of what she started last year. And has been a pretty important piece back there between the pipes for the Govs.
Yeah, she's one of a handful of goalkeepers that I can remember over the last 26 years that have taken on a varsity position at keeper as a freshman, and will probably hold it all the way through her senior year. And I think back to previous keepers before. We had one here in Pierre who did it, and another one up in Aberdeen. And outside of those two, I can't remember anybody else who's done it. So she's in rarefied air by the fact of by the time she's done, she's going to be a 5-year starter.
Bryn Scogan pushes this one forward for Severson. Severson on the near side corner of the box will let that one roll out of play. She was battling with Allison Demers. And as good as a goalkeeper as Emlyn Swanson is, I think her father, big friend of the broadcast, may be even better with these statistics that he keeps all season. All these stats that you hear me spitting out, no, not right off the top of the dome. That's big thanks to Roy Swanson, who diligently keeps stats on just about everything you can throughout the season. So big thanks to him for helping out the broadcast each and every week, as this one is a little bit errant on the pass for Demers off the foot of Caitlin Taylor. And it'll set up another opportunity here for the Tigers. More work for this back line defensively of the Pierre Governors. Natalie Flotmeyer will boot that one out of play to let everybody get reset. About 20 yards up from the near side corner. This one is thrown in. Handled for the moment by Bryn Scogan. Scogan, Smithback, and Claire Backstrom, the 3 captains here for the Tigers, are going to be treated to not 1 but 2 games, as this left-footed boot from outside of the box from Bryn Scogan will sail high over the crossbar. It is windy enough today to keep those flags buffeting. Not the worst wind we've seen out here at the Pilk, but certainly not the calmest day we've seen. So Emlyn Swanson and Haley Kaufman will have their hands full. Again, Kaufman is going to be the first half goalkeeper for the Harrisburg Tigers. It'll be Reagan Shelsky in the second half. And I kind of asked Cameron Miller, their head coach, about what the strategy was behind that. And she said, like I said, the Bankwest pregame show, there's really no strategy. They're both just outstanding goalkeepers. I said, is there a possibility that one maybe elevates from the other one throughout the season and they kind of take over the role? She said, we just take it game by game, and as long as they keep playing well, they're both going to see playing time. As Jasmine Yost is tripped up, that'll draw the flag as it gets up in the air, and it'll be a turnover back to the Governors as they'll try to push it offensively. One shot on goal here this afternoon. That belongs to the Harrisburg Tigers as we are in the first couple minutes of play here. Hot day down at the Pilk. We'll certainly have time to have a couple Coca-Cola bottling timeouts, and on a hot day like this, nothing sounds better than a cold Coke, at least for me and Chris Derry. Of course, these Pierre Governor girls and the Harrisburg Tigers will be tapping on the Gatorade bottles quite a bit here today. This one is pushed back towards the back line and rolled back to Kaufman. Kaufman in the black kit as the Tigers goalkeeper. She's got Tigers in gold across the chest as Zoe Bauer fighting that one free, and now Lexi Hilmer has it on the corner of the far side box, and now she's going to pinwheel and turn, push it back towards the middle of play. And Chris Derry shaking his head like maybe she had an open opportunity but didn't seize it.
Yeah, I mean, she just got doubled up there, and her teammates were in good spots, but they needed to be moving into the position. Standing flat-footed, find that opening space. Lexi's been good enough finding the open space to pass them to him, and that's all I was shaking my head as, make sure you're moving into that space so Lexi can find you.
Devin Van Rokel puts one a mile up in the air. It's through the hands of Kaufman, still free out in front of the box, cleared out to the near side corner. Van Rokel will put it back out in front of the net. It's taken away by the Tigers, cut off by Jasmine Yost, but a dangerous opportunity there presented itself for the Governors. They couldn't capitalize, and Well, for a bit of a soccer novice like myself, I think it's safe to say I can tell. Looks like Harrisburg putting a lot of focus along that defensive back line with the damage that Lexi Hilmer can do. They've seen that on tape. Here come the Tigers pushing it down towards the other end. Shot on goal. Diving save to her left by Emlyn Swanson. Still free out in front. Another save by Swanson. Third save by Swanson. It's a hat trick of saves in as many seconds for Emlyn Swanson. She keeps this game scoreless. 2 saves from Auburn Barrett. 1 from Taylor Severson. What a turn of events down there for Emlyn Swanson, showing why she is not going anywhere as the goalkeeper for the Govs. 3 outstanding saves all in a row for Emlyn Swanson.
Emlyn did a great job getting to her feet and getting in ready stance, ready position for each one of those shots. Exactly what your goalkeeper coach, Braden Hinker over there, and myself and other goalkeeper coaches preach all the time.
Naya Aware now running down the far side. She's tracked alongside by the defender. Beautiful pass out in front. Taylor Severson was waiting for it, and she darts it into the back of the net for the game's first goal. There was nothing Emlyn Swanson could have done about that. Our first goal on our Gales Gas Service scoreboard belongs to the Harrisburg Tigers. Naya Aware will get the assist. Taylor Severson will get the score.
Yeah, unfortunately, Demers on the backside was running behind her defender and let her get to the ball side there. And a cardinal mistake. You always want to keep that yourself between the attacker and the ball. And unfortunately, she wasn't there. So just need to make a quick adjustment. You know, Emlyn was doing her job guarding the front post, near post, and the backside there just came running in on a perfect 45.
So in the 8th minute of play, Harrisburg is on the board 1-0. And as many great saves as Emlyn Swanson made in the previous offensive possession for the Tigers, that was just beautifully done by Harrisburg. As the Govs look to answer with an equalizer. This one out in front. Van Rokel now. Lexi Hilmer knifing through. Shot is deflected off the left leg of Isabella Smithback. Lexi Hilmer looking to pick up right where she left off here at the Pilk after that hat-trick performance a couple games ago.
And that shot was going on frame if the leg didn't get in the way there. Lexi did a good job bringing that ball down out of the air with her chest and first timed it on a half volley. So Lexi obviously wants to get a goal back and get this game even quickly, and she's the kind of talent that can do it.
It'll be Natalie Flottmeyer taking the corner. Lexi Hilmer does most of the kicking from the corner for the Govs, and, well, Flottmeyer just with an errant touch there. That one never was back in the field of play. Low trajectory on that kick, and it just curved left from this near side corner and bounced off the side of the net. Governors won't be able to do anything with that.
And right now is a gut check time for the girls. This team hasn't been scored on, and you don't want to let it enter your head that they haven't been scored on. You can still score. It's early in the game. They only got one. Just play your game.
As Devin Van Rokel pushes forward right across our press box, that one is cut off by Smithback and pushed back forward along towards that back line. Caitlin Taylor will dart one right at me, and luckily I had my head on a swivel. Thought I put a pretty good first touch on that one there, Chris.
For anyone I wish anyone could have saw that. That was actually pretty doggone good, but he about jumped out of his skin.
I've seen enough Pierre Governor soccer that I know what to do when one comes flying my direction.
I'll give you all the compliments in the world. It was good.
I'm no Lexi Hilmer, that's for sure, but we're working on it each and every day. Govs will
Neither
get
of us are.
Yeah, there's only one Lexi Hilmer, that's for sure. Devin Van Rokel with the throw-in. And, you know, Lexi has certainly lit up the stat sheet, but it's a lot about Lexi, but a lot about those unsung heroes for the Pierre Governors, and a lot of those come from the back line. One mainly being Sophia Bruggeman. Bruggeman's played 519 minutes. She's only registered one stat on the sheet, one shot on goal, but it's what the things she does off the stat sheet that really make her such an important piece. As Van Rokel centers this one, it'll be cleared back out and will be chased down by Aubrey Fisher, pushed back towards midfield. Fisher stepping in front, and that one will rattle off of Caitlin Taylor and bounce back towards Yost. Yost will feed it in, looking for Lexi Hilmer. Hilmer giving chase. Kaufman will get to it first, puts two hands on it, and stops the advance. Kaufman will boot it high up into the air. This will come to rest at midfield, taken away by Taylor.
Excellent job by Caitlin. we always tell our defenders, be first to the ball, take that ball out of the air, and that's what she did right there.
This one floated ahead for Severson. Severson will chase it down here in the near side corner, send it back towards Emlyn Swanson. That'll bounce along the back line and out of play. And will lead to a goalie kick. Cam Miller thought that might have been a deflection off of a Governor. Didn't win that contest with our near side official. Rolling through. Governors obviously no stranger from playing from behind, even in crunch time when the game is only down to a couple minutes, as Nia Aware will put a right-footed shot out in front of the frame. That'll bounce past Severson and out of play. And that looks like a running theme. Try to get it to the outside lanes and push it back out towards the front of the net and give some of your big playmakers opportunities to score, much like we saw Taylor Severson do a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, and that's something that Harrisburg's been known for years. From a few years back with their first state championship team, they were known for getting that ball wide and crash in the middle or backside, and it's been successful for them for the last few years. And you can see they haven't changed that mindset of let's get it wide, let's beat them down the wings, and then crack a ball through the middle or the backside and overload it.
And it's certainly something that other teams have tried to do to the Governors, but back to the point we were making a few moments ago, it's that back line of unsung heroes that has really made Emlyn Swanson's life so easy as Lexi Hilmer looks to chase this loose ball down. It'll be pushed here to the near side corner and out of the direction of Lexi Hilmer by Delaney Rockvam. And that'll set up a throw-in right at that corner flag. They'll toss it in for Van Roekel. That'll go off the shin of Isabel Smith back, and we'll set up a corner kick, and Lexi Hilmer is going to take this one. Flotmeyer on the last one wasn't able to put it in play, so we'll see if Hilmer can set something up and trying to get this game tied up at 1 apiece. Hilmer with the right-footed boot from the near side corner, curling towards the net and just goes over the crossbar and back behind the net. And looked like she was trying to do that one all herself.
Yeah, she was trying to play the wind on that one and get a little bend right on top of the keeper, and fortunately she just got it the technique wrong just a little bit. But I would, if I was her, that's not a bad try, and it makes the keeper think.
Certainly not. We actually saw her score on one of those plays. It was on the opposite end of the pitch. I believe that was against Watertown on one of those goals. There's Nia Aware outrunning the defender Sophia Bruggeman. Bruggeman covering a lot of ground, got her foot out in front of that centering pass from Aware, who was looking for Severson again. She also had another one of her counterparts, Lily Churchill, in the area. Good deflection there by Bruggeman. Will send it out of play. Let the Governor defense get set up for this corner kick from the far side, which will be taken by Aware. Aware with a beautiful feed inside and just out of play off the foot of Lily Kunzelman. Great setup, though, by Nia Aware, as this one will be booted here near side. Will roll out of play off the foot of Emlyn Swanson right at midfield. The throw-in will come here for Delaney Rockvam. Physical battle going on here as we have played about 15 minutes or so. Our first Coca-Cola bottling timeout coming up in the next 4 or so minutes. Give everybody a chance to take a breath, but also give Kira Swenson a chance to talk to her team and maybe make some mid-half adjustments. Hasn't been much offensive pressure here for the Pierre Governors. When there has been, the back line of the Tigers has done a good job eliminating that pressure. Seems like Harrisburg might have a firmer grip on this match here through the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, they have. Harrisburg has set the pace. They've used their wings. They've used that. I would say probably a little bit of a mental edge about hey, we're the defending state champs. Those little things that teams that play with so much confidence have. And right now the Governors haven't answered, but that's not saying they're not gonna or haven't been trying.
Maya Fravel will chase down a beautiful pass from Lexi Hilmer as she curved it around a defender. Fravel is worked off of the ball. Good defensive play there from Reagan Pesca. As this will be deflected off of Devin Van Roekel and out of play, so Rockvam will do the throw-in right in front of the Governor's bench for the Tigers. High five from Kira Swenson to Aubrey Fisher as she makes her way off.
Aubrey came on for a short amount of time there, but gave good effort. Did exactly what was asked, obviously, and made an impact. Made an impact out there.
Natalie Flottmeyer trying to squeeze it through the 5-hole. The defender in front, she might have caught a knee to the thigh, laboring a bit. Of course, it'll take a lot more than just a little bit of a thigh bruise to get Natalie Flottmeyer off the field. One of the toughest governors out there. Funny, she's one of the sweetest people you'll talk to, but man, she is tough as nails.
Takes after her dad a lot. I always tell people her dad Jesse helps to set up the camera here. Is willing to help you at a drop of a hat, but when it comes to being competitive, he is ultra competitive, and has been since he was a wrestler back when he was a kid.
And Natalie has certainly earned that toughness from him as this one's pushed out of play. Pierre Governors just trying to sort things out, get themselves in another scoring opportunity. They've had a few, haven't been able to capitalize, but a long match ahead, as they haven't really gotten out of kind of their bread and butter. But of course, they would love to just keep this a 1-goal game, keep this in striking distance. It's really not out of the Governor's reach until the final whistle blows. But it's much tougher to come back against a team that hasn't allowed a goal all season in a 2-0 match versus a 1-0 match. So the Governor's defense trying to stiffen up here a little bit, as we've got about 21 minutes to play here in the first half. Harrisburg leading 1-0 after the 8th minute goal by Taylor Severson. Throw-in coming from the far side of the pitch for the Tigers. Thrown in, that goes off the shin of Kunzelman and out of play. Sumlin Swanson will take the throw-in or free kick, whichever she decides to do after the substitution takes place. Backstrom checking in, Smith back coming out. You can't tell on these Harrisburg kits until you get up close. Those numbers on the back have a little bit of a tiger print on them, so both teams rocking some really good-looking jerseys here this afternoon. These kits obviously new for the Governors here today. Emlyn Swanson in her highlighter yellow kit this afternoon, the one that she often goes to. Harrisburg looking to extend their lead here on this offensive hold. Push towards the middle of the pitch. Shot on goal coming, but right to Emlyn Swanson. That was Auburn Barrett. And it was well outside the box. Gave Swanson plenty of time to set herself up and make the save. Now we'll see if the Governors can force the issue here. Ball gets through the defensive line, and now it is run forward by Zoe Bauer. Bauer will give off to Hilmer over in the far side corner. And this one out in front of the center. Blocked away there by Haley Kaufman through the leg of Zoe Bauer, who looked like she might have a rebound opportunity as Kaufman dove out, punched it away with both hands, but she was down on the turf. And Bauer with another opportunity that couldn't be capitalized on for the Governors. That might be one when they go back and watch the film. So it could have been 1-1 right there.
Yeah, again, they're getting their opportunities. They just haven't finished them off yet. And it sounds awfully familiar if you've been watching the girls play this whole season. Think back to Watertown. You know, they had a lot of opportunities and, you know, had to do what they had to do to get their goals in. In the game before that, obviously, when they were down with minutes to go, how many opportunities did they have in that game, and then had to come back late. So the girls are good at creating their opportunities. They just need to capitalize on them.
Another interesting bit about this Harrisburg team, this is their first game this season on grass. They've been playing all of their matches on turf. Only a few schools left in 11AA that actually do play on grass, so a different feel here for Harrisburg this afternoon. Maybe feeling a little bit slower out there, running around on a bit thicker grass than they find on the turf.
Yeah, the grass will slow the ball down, but luckily our wonderful city of Pierre staff that mow the fields for us do a great job of keeping the grass nice and tight and very low.
Opportunity again for the Tigers, sent over the head of Swanson. It just barely veers wide of the net. That was a good opportunity put in play. there by Lily Kunzelman. As the wind may have directed that one away from the net, not like it was going to go in if there was no wind, but a dangerous floater that Swanson was happy to see run awry. Flottmeyer trying to take this one away. As this one's pushed back and will roll wide of the net. Shot from Auburn Barrett from way outside the box, off the mark. A couple more substitutions coming in. And now with just under 18 minutes to play, as hot as it is, I would have expected a Coca-Cola bottling timeout to let the girls get some water, but it doesn't look like we've got one coming up.
No, and I could hear the coaches talking to the refs before the game about it, and I didn't quite catch whether they wanted it or not. But today, it's a nice temperature today. There's a good breeze. I can see why there wouldn't be a compared to what they've used for standards in the past, why there wouldn't be a water break.
Shot on goal coming from way outside. That was Auburn Barrett again. That one sails wide of Emlyn Swanson. Checking back in here is Bryn Scogan. She'll check out Barrett, who just took that last shot. Swanson gets the whistle. We'll trot off to her right, and we'll set it down. Standing by Josephine Wirtz. Pushed forward. Picked up by Maya Fravel. Fravel battling with the Harrisburg defender, stolen away. Josephine Wirtz will send that one back towards midfield over the head of Hilmer. Hilmer will chase it back along that back line, and a beautiful play to steal it away by Lexi Hilmer, at least for the moment. She's got some great footwork. Hilmer is great at creating opportunities that don't really seem there.
No, she is great at it, but the one thing the Harrisburg defender is doing is being patient with her.
Give and go out in front, saved by Emlyn Swanson. That shot was put on by Taylor Severson, who was looking for her second goal of the day. It was beautifully set up by Naya Aware, and Emlyn Swanson just stuck her right paw out there and deflected it away before it got to the back of the net. Will set up a corner here for the Tigers. Aware will take it again. Another nice looking shot out in front of the net, off the head, sent back out Naya Aware's direction. That came off of Bryn Scogan's forehead and sent back in out in front of Emlyn Swanson. She makes the save. A bit of a collision between Lily Kunzelman and Swanson, but nothing comes of it as Kunzelman just pulled up at the last second. Swanson will clear it out.
Yeah, and the Governors are going to need to clean up that backside runs. Those backside runs coming at an angle there are starting to be more and more effective. They're going to need to clean that up so they don't get another goal off of that run again.
Harrisburg will play it forward. Swanson will come out to claim it. And if you're a team like Harrisburg, you've played 6 matches, haven't allowed a goal yet. If you're a coach, how much are you thinking about that and trying to keep that going and be one of those continued storylines of your team this season?
I'm not thinking about it at all. It's not something that's feasible for the entire season. It's been a good run, but if they keep playing solid defense to get another clean sheet, we'll celebrate it at the end, but it's not anything we're going to focus on right now. The focus of this game is just to have one more goal than the other team.
Josephine works it away from Kunzelman. Now she'll push it across midfield. Looking up and rolls it forward for Zoe Bauer. That gets by Bauer. Bria Miller will cut it off, roll it along the sideline. Battle won by the Tigers. Natalie Flottmeyer. Kinsley Pfeffer will check back in, as Devin Van Rokel will check out, as will Lexi Hilmer. Checking in for the Tigers is Isabella Smith back, and checking out is Reagan Pesca. That wind that we speak of blowing from right to left, kind of into the face of the Harrisburg goalkeeper Haley Kaufman at the back of Emlyn Swanson, who claimed that loose ball with a right-handed heave forward for Pfeffer. Pfeffer with a first touch gets around the defender, still pushed but staying with it is Pfeffer. Beautiful footwork here. She is shouldered off the ball, heavy contact, and the whistle comes in. And that whistle will go against Delaney Rockvam, who just got a little bit too physical there, trying to steal that ball away.
Yeah, and Nicole, the center ref, was just going to let them play on if they could keep playing. They lost possession. She brought it back. Excellent refereeing by our center ref there. Just, can you guys play through it, or you need me to call it back? They needed him to call it back. She did. So great job controlling the game, not being a focus of the game.
Then Jasmine Yost will take the free kick about 15 yards inside midfield. Yost with the right foot sends it in towards the right side of the box. Bounce down, shot just a bit wide off the foot of Katie Hostler. Had good intentions, just sent it a little bit too far left of where she wanted to land it.
Yeah, and if that would have been on frame, there was nothing the keeper was going to do about it. She was near post. All she could do was watch and hope that it was going wide, and she made it look pretty nonchalant, like she knew it was going wide, but I guarantee there was some butterflies in her stomach going, no, please don't let it happen.
12.5 to play before our Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial halftime show. Stick around. We'll recap this first half of action, look ahead at the second half, and look ahead at our second game of this doubleheader slate between the Pierre Governor boys and the Harrisburg Tigers. As we'll flip around and hopefully not look back into the sun too much with some cloud coverage assisting us back behind. Harrisburg pushing it forward. Naya Aware knifing through defenders. Right-footed shot sails way high of the crossbar and out of play. Seems that the Governor defense, while still allowing some opportunities, settling in a little bit nicer, starting to feel out what Harrisburg wants to do on the offensive end of things. Naya Aware from the semicircle with a shot on goal right to Emlyn Swanson, who grabs it with both hands, and another save for Swanson. She's been a busy customer back there for the Governors today.
Yeah, she's going to earn her saves today, and she's going to be key for these girls to stay in this game by making those solid saves from distance, because right now Harrisburg doesn't have the wind at their back. Next half they got that wind. I'm going to tell you, the shots are going to keep coming fast and furious, even from even more distance when they get that wind behind them.
And so much so, right in the middle of Chris making his point, Emlyn Swanson made another save.
From even more distance when they get that wind behind them.
And so much so, right in the middle of Chris making his point, Emlyn Swanson made another save. Pretty routine one, bounced a couple times off the foot of Auburn Bear.
Game, and a game the girls can still bring home easily enough.
And you do make a good point. It's going to be advantage Harrisburg with the wind in the second half, with the wind at their backs. So really important that the Govs keep this a one-goal game. Here comes a good opportunity for the Tigers, and they capitalize on it.
The attacking midfielder made an overlap on that outside run, and she was wide open because our outside back had collapsed in. So great awareness by the Harrisburg girls to find the open player, and a tough shot for Emlyn. Got the whole goal, and she did the best she could by making herself as big as she could.
Harrisburg showing you why they're 6-0-0 on the season. It's time for the Governors to show you why they're 6-0-1 on the season. Of course, this is no stranger for the Govs to play from behind. Of course, you don't want to do it against an undefeated squad that hasn't allowed a goal all year. But you've just got to slowly but surely pick away, build your momentum, and with under 10 minutes to play, another big key piece, as we just mentioned before the second goal, is to keep this thing close.
Yeah, and the last game they were behind by 2 goals. I said one of the things I said, and it's true in every game when you're behind. First thing you got to do is get the first goal. Once you get the first goal, you build from there, but you just got to get that first goal and build off the confidence of scoring that goal. And the girls have gotten their opportunities. They just haven't gotten the reward for their opportunities. So if they can get that reward once, there's no reason why they can't do it twice.
And we're obviously a far distance away from that final whistle being blown, but even if this doesn't go the Governor's direction on the final score tally sheet, there's still some momentum that can be built, and you can learn a lot about who you are as a team. Chris, you made a great point in our Bank West pregame show. There's a lot to be learned in this measuring stick game as Emlyn Swanson pushes this high hopper away off the foot of Naya Aware.
Yeah, to me, that was Emlyn's first mistake there of the day. She didn't catch that ball before it bounced. You always want to get that ball before it bounced, but in saying that, she also did the right thing and just parried it away, didn't allow any rebounds or anything. So now we got a corner kick, defend, and hopefully get a counterattack.
Auburn Barrett will send it in with the right foot. Pushed away by the forehead of Lexi Hilmer. This one will stay with the Tigers. Barrett will dart one Emlyn Swanson's direction, but it's off to her left. She was guarding the near side post, which means it's out of play. Swanson and the Govs just trying to keep the course. This one's thrown in back towards midfield. Pushed through towards that back line. Caitlin Taylor rolling ahead for Aubrey Fisher. Fisher getting physical there here right in front of our press box with Kennedy Tejan. Battle here at the midway stripe. Taken away by the Tigers. Pushed forward as Taylor Severson will give chase down into the near side corner. Severson trying to scoot around Allison Demers, and Demers will deflect that one past the back line. Another corner kick here coming for the Tigers. Auburn Barrett will take this one as well from the near side.
Yeah, and you can see every attack that they've come down this right side, their right winger over here has been all the way out to the touchline while our defenders are collapsed in. So, again, doing the right thing on defense, but something to need to pay attention to.
High floating corner goes off the head of Bryn Scogan as she backpedaled to get to it. Header was off the mark. It's going to be a tough one to make anyway as she kind of looked back up into the sunlight and dealt with the wind. Hard to get a good direction on a header when you're backpedaling and all your momentum is carrying you away from it.
Yeah, we always tell our keepers and every one of our players, back up quick, do a quick 5-yard back sprint, and then come forward to head the ball so you can get your momentum, your distance, your height, and everything else that you need, because you're never going to get it off the back foot.
Devin Van Rokel will play it off the head off the throw-in. Rolled back this way for Fisher. Fisher trying to squeeze it through. Was looking for Flottmeyer. That was picked off by a Harrisburg defender, and now Taylor Severson again in the near side corner looking to center something out in front. Goes off the stomach of her teammate Lily Churchill and out of play. Pretty good crowd on hand here out at the Pilk. This game was, supposed to be hosted at Hollister Field, as were a couple of our other matches this season, but they have officially decided to play the remainder of their home games that were designated to be at Hollister Field here at the Pilk. Pilk offers better dimensions and matches what most of the schools have in terms of field size. And it doesn't have that crown that Hollister Field has, which I think offers a little bit of another calculation into, another variable into that calculation, I should say.
Yeah, that crown at Hollister is something to definitely be aware of, and it definitely changes the game.
This game has certainly picked up in physicality. A lot of banging bodies on some of these passes, but it's not a Governor's girls soccer game unless there's some physicality added in. Another centering pass off the shin of Nia Aware will roll out to Caitlin Taylor, who will push forward for Aubrey Fisher. Govs just can't seem to get it out of their defensive zone right now. And it'll stay that way. Quickly thrown in. Jasmine Yost pushed down from behind by Bryn Scogan. Ms. Hovdestead didn't like it. Didn't warrant a card, but did warrant a disappointed head shake, it looked like.
No, it was a good call. It's foul from behind, right in the middle of the shoulder blades there. And Nicole's going to call that every game, all game. So she'll call it both ways.
It's interesting to see Harrisburg trying to just match that physicality that the Governors bring. As this one will roll up and kind of caught Josephine Wirtz in between. Looked like she wanted to come up and play that. Auburn Barrett was right there for it as this one's centered and off the deflection. Rolls for Emlyn Swanson. She has to dive back on it, and she got a foot to the midsection from Churchill. But Swanson was able to make the save. That was an errant deflection by Allison Demers. I don't think she wanted that ball to go that direction. Luckily, Emlyn Swanson was there to clean it up.
Yeah, caught Demers off balance, with the in-between hop, and then deflection off the shin. And Emlyn, you can see Emlyn's eyes from here, how big they got, going, oh boy. And with that spin on it, it's hard to catch that cleanly when it's spinning and then comes off the grass.
Yeah, it was spinning and then bounced in front. The deflection came off of the right side of the right foot of Demers, and like Chris said, offered some wicked side spin. And then when it hit the turf, it just kind of took a completely different bounce. So Emlyn Swanson having to go back to all of her early training to make that play. As we have entered the final 2.5 minutes to play here in the opening half between number 1 and number 2. Harrisburg leading 2-0. Their 2 goals coming from Auburn Barrett and Taylor Severson. And they're looking to try to add one more here in the final 2 to play in the first half. Shot goes off the abdomen of Lexi Hilmer. Stays with the Tigers. Severson with a shot, trying to center out in front for Nia Aware, and Aware was just a step behind. What a gorgeous feed, though, from Severson. Emlyn Swanson read it just as beautifully and was able to get out in front of it.
As did Sophia Bruggeman. Sophia's actually the one that got a foot on it. And Sophia, what I was talking about earlier where Demers got beat and she was on the back side of the defender, there Sophia was on the front side between the ball and the defender and got a deflection and kept that out of the net because it was going in the net otherwise.
That's another one of those unsung moments by Sophia Bruggeman as the corner kick comes in from Aware off the top of the skull of Bryn Scogan. Scogan's skull sending it out of play as there's about 75 seconds to play here, and the Governors, I think, would be wise just to try to keep this away from Harrisburg as these final seconds tick away. Severson will toss it back to Tejan. Tejan will throw it in, looking for Adeline DeGraff. DeGraff tried to roll it and center it, but it went off the side of the net, so Emlyn Swanson will pick up and place. And with about 45 seconds, we'll see if they can steal a goal here in the end of the first half. It'll bounce back Emlyn Swanson's direction, and she'll play it on a couple clean bounces. DeGraff was giving chase, offering a little bit of pressure. The drop kick is away for Swanson. Played first by Flottmeyer. Pinballing back and forth in midfield. Flottmeyer hands off to Hilmer. Hilmer pushing forward for a fleeting Devin Van Rokel. Van Rokel gets to it first, but it's deflected towards the far side corner. Van Rokel will settle down. 10 seconds to play. Van Rokel centering pass, looking for Hilmer. Kicked away by a defender, popped up into the air by Auburn Barrett. And that is how our first half will end. The Harrisburg Tigers continuing their dominance. They lead 2-0 after the first half. We'll step away for a couple minutes. When we come back, we'll recap that first half for you in our Family Dental of Pierre and Gettysburg. Well, that's our post-game show. We got to get to our halftime show first, which is, of course, sponsored by Wealth Partners Ameriprise Financial. We'll step away and come right back with the halftime show. Tigers lead 2-0 after the first half of play. You're listening live on River 92.7 and streaming live on drgnews.com.
Graham Tire and Construction in Fort Pierre provides quality freight transportation services, cargo hauling, excavation, and demolition services. They also specialize in dirt and gravel work for everything from commercial work to new construction. Briggs Trucking and Construction will haul everything from light poles to farm and agricultural supplies. The bigger the job or the bigger the load, the better, as that is where their expertise really shines. Contact Briggs Trucking and Construction at 605-280-2848 or email them at cbriggs25@pi.midco.net to visit about your next project.
Buying or selling a home is a big decision. You need an expert who knows the market and gets results. Scott Darnall at Lee Real Estate in Pierre brings experience, local knowledge, and a no-nonsense approach to help you navigate every step. Whether you're looking for the perfect home or the best offer, Scott is committed to making the process smooth and stress-free. Ready to make your next move? Call Scott Darnall at 605-220-2676. Lee Real Estate, Meredith Lee, broker, owner.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Dakota Pro Air is a locally family-owned business that has been taking care of farmers